Greetings in the name of Yahuwah and his son Yahusha Mashiach. My name is Malak Shalomo, and today is the 30th of January 2023. I'm gonna do a little market analysis on the US dollar, ES1 mini futures, NQ1 mini futures, and probably some Forex pairs like GBPUSD and AUDUSD. The AUDUSD has some correlation with the stock market, so that should be interesting as well. Excuse me. All right, so let's start off with the US dollar. This is the 4-hour chart. All right, so let's see. So I drew a fib line from the top of the US dollar down to, I think, the bottom. So let me go to the daily chart. Let's take a look at that for a second. Right, so I pulled this fib line from like the bottom here where it started to push up to the highs, and to see where this retracement levels might be. So we have this retracement level, 61% is at 12,326. Right now we're probably heading for 12,560. That's the 50% range. We already broke the 38% level at 12,795. All right, so let's go back down to the 4-hour chart. All right, let me take this off for a second. All right. All right, so from the start of the year, which was around let's see, around here, right? So we had this push up right here, had a pullback, had these highs. So we set this high for the year at around let's see, 12,986. So we just pulled back from there, and that's caused like the stock market to be bullish, right? And since then we went sideways somewhere like around the 11th of January, went sideways until around the 12th of January, had that big sell-off, and we hit the bottom of this this channel, right? So I drew this channel here from this top, from the sideways consolidation movement to this bottom right here, and now we're just kind of slowly moving down and bouncing around in this channel. But today we finally kind of broke out of the channel right here, and I also use this annual anchored VWAP, right? So this green line is, hold on, right? So that green line right there, that's lower anchored VWAP, right? And usually when you get that push up above that level or that line, it usually just pushes back down, right? So that's keeping it bearish. Anything below that is keeping it bearish. So it's really kind of ranging down, but it's still very bearish. You know, it's kind of moving sideways, but still this is using it like resistance then, you know. So I'm looking at this movement here right now. This breakout is significant because it's the first time you're getting like two bullish candles closing above, right? Now if you notice here, you get a bullish candle above, the next one sells back in. Bullish candle above, sells back in. Bullish candle above, sells back in. Right? Here again, selling back in. So every time it pops up above that level, you get the selling, right? So right now we actually have 3 bullish candles, good volume going up there. This is the trend monitor as well. It's been basically, this is the main line right there, the 0 line, and it's basically just kind of crawling back and forth between that, right? And now we're finally getting a bullish signal where it's light blue, right? So as you can see here, all this is bearish, dark purple is bearish. When it gets lighter here, that's signaling that the trend is kind of changing. Went back to bearish. This was coming into kind of bullish right here. Went back into bearish. Stayed in bearish for a while. And now it's lightening up, and first time we're getting this one since let's see. Let's see, we started this bullish signal on the 5th of January, right? So that's when it had that bullish push up, right? At the beginning of the year. So we haven't had that since for the month. So at the end of the month, we're getting another kind of bullish move right here. So I don't really think this is gonna last right here, because you already see the weakness coming in. You can see the weakness on that candle right there, the wick rejection. But the volume is looking good though. The volume is looking good. Like we had some buying here after we pushed up from kind of the middle of the channel right here. Went sideways, did some accumulation, and had this nice wick, pushed above it, nice. This is the only weakness I'm seeing right there, that wick rejection. So maybe a retest of the 38% level right here, the 38% fib level, or VWAP first, right? So really and truly, I don't have any faith in it being bullish though. I think it's gonna just fall back in this downward channel, especially probably overnight, and we're probably gonna get some bullish run into the Wednesday FOMC meeting statement, and probably, I don't know, man, this is probably gonna break back down so we could get that bullish move in like the stock market and the futures and stuff like that. So overall, I'm thinking this is gonna fail. This bullish move out here is gonna fail. What it's gonna do at the FOMC statement, I have no idea. I would just think probably it's a trend continuation, you know? Like if this wants to do like a false breakout, right? Like it wants to get up to maybe VWAP or test some of these levels here, right? I think it's gonna just fail when whatever Powell says is just gonna fail and just come back in. Because I don't think really the Fed is that serious about being hawkish, or like they kind of insinuate that they want to rein in things and tighten the economy, but I don't really see any big moves being made. I think they kind of lower the interest rate hikes. They didn't stick with any 75% rate hikes and stuff like that. So they're being very cautious. I don't know. I think they wanna keep the people's sentiment on their side. Really, they say they wanna tighten stuff, but I'm not seeing it. The stock market is rallying and stuff. So we'll see. I just think it's gonna probably just head back down, weak dollar, and continue with the bullish stock market. And let me see here. I also compare the US dollar with the yuan, and the yuan has been moving sideways. I think they said China is gonna open again, so maybe the yuan is gonna maybe go bullish against the dollar. As the dollar weakens, it might get stronger. Not really sure what that's gonna do, but right now it's moving down. But I think that was because China was closed, so maybe this kind of little pop-up right here, sideways movement, some accumulation, and maybe it's gonna head higher. and also the Japanese yen. Well, the Japanese yen, I think they also wanted to kind of strengthen their currency, but I think the last interest rate hike, they didn't really raise rates that much, so I think that was kind of surprising. They had a little sell-off, but it pulled back up, and it's basically moving sideways, really, you know. So let's see here. Let's go to the ES1 4-hour chart. Right, so this is one of the things I have on the ES, this longer term VPOC from beginning of accumulation. So I'm calling this here like it's like rotation, right? 1 second, my bad. So we have this low, we have this high, this low, this high, this low right here. Well, higher low, right? So we started off with kind of like it was a somewhat tighter range than compared to this, right? So we had this drop, this big drop, this big push up, big drop, and somewhat of a retest of this level, right? Now we're seeing similar kind of rotation, like from around this level here, right? This rotation here, we're seeing it kind of here again, right? So it's probably looking kind of like it's tightening up now. So let's see, let me draw this out here. Let me see if this could give some perspective here. Right, so that's kind of like a downward channel, but it's kind of tightening up, you know, like if you wait, hold on, let me see here. Like if I would just use this right here as a channel, so it's kind of tightening up. It's still looking like it might reject up here and move lower, but we still could get the breakout and start testing up on these levels here. Now everybody is bullish, so I think that is the more probable outcome for it to be bullish, you know. Let's see, hold on, let me take this off. But this is the thing I'm really looking at here. Is the VPOC, right? This longer term VPOC, where I have this set from May 22nd, no, May 18th, 2022, right? Where this kind of rotation kind of started. So this is the VPOC right here. This actually was a little higher. It moved down a little lower. So I guess people were buying around here a little more. So it dropped. Let's see, let's make this a little bigger here. And this is for like looking at like long-term players, see where they at, see who's underwater. Because I guess, you know, these bigger hedge funds, and especially where I work, it's a building full of hedge funds and stuff like that. So they hold their positions for some time, you know. They're dealing with people's retirements and all that, so they hold positions for a long time. And since last year May, if this is the VPOC, right, I would think that all of these guys here who stepped in on this last dip, they're well in profit still, you know. And for the people who bought around this dip right here, you know, they had to hold through some I guess you know, retracement, right? And this created a high volume node right here, so it's not as much buying as the VPOC, right, which was they bought here at these dips, right? They had to hold here and buy at these dips again, and now they're back up here, right? So we gotta see if they start adding to their positions around here. Now we had this bullish push up, but now we're hitting these levels again, and we're getting the pullback, right? So a retest of this VPOC again, for looking for some buyers as possible, you know. If the US dollar does make a run up to like VWAP or something like that, you could see this coming back down to test VPOC right here around what, 39.55, and try and get some buyers again for another leg up, you know. So you know, a lot of people, a lot of bulls is just looking for just go, but you're probably gonna have to get some retracement and have to come back to look for some buyers, because when people start seeing stuff like this, they start taking profit, right? So they gotta probably reload, you know. And when this test is here again and they see it start moving up again, then they'll get the reassurance like, okay, we're coming back into a bull market for real, and they'll put some money in, you know. So yeah, let me see. Let's look at NQ1. Right, so it's the same thing basically with the NQ1. Wait, nope, don't want that one. Yeah, this one here. So this is the VPOC, same kind of movement. Bought the dip here, kind of bought this dip again. Well, they actually bought some here, but this was a low volume node. Not a lot of people really bought down here, but I think they started buying here again when we hit this level. So the big players who pushed it up to here, and the second time up, they probably got, you know, a lot of people to participate to push back up above VPOC. So they had the confidence here again to step back in on this dip. So right now they're in profit, probably taking some profit up at these highs. So there's a little difference with the NQ1, because I think tech kind of moved a little higher compared to the ES1. The ES1 didn't get to this this high right here, but the NQ1 did, right? So let me just go back to the ES1. Right, so you can see up here, in comparison to the ES1, we didn't get up to this level. We didn't get up to the highs. So the ES1 is slightly weaker than the NQ1, you know, but that's to be kind of understood, because all the big name companies is really tech, you know. So tech is probably gonna be a little stronger than compared to like the overall market, you know. Let's see. So yeah, profit taking definitely happening here, especially ahead of that FOMC meeting. And this is upper anchored VWAP, so maybe a retracement to there, could be even a little lower down here. But if something, I mean, if it really gets crazy and they start selling off, this is the next support level. Definitely this VPOC level right here around 11,568, and then you'll get your buyers here again. You see how they stopped here, pulled back, had a push up through that, big buyers coming in here, pushing price up, pulled back to the VPOC, went straight up to the highs. So for me, this is where the buyers are, around this level here. Buyers around here, they sold here but pulled back up to this level, went sideways, dipped, pushed up, and now they test it again here. What day was this? This retest was on the 25th. Yeah, so that got us up to the highs there, because the big players are around that level. And let's see. Let's see some on the 15-minute chart here. Wait, let me go back to the ES1. right? So that level, that VPOC level is right there. VWAP, anchored VWAP is right there. So if by Wednesday we get back to this level on the ES1, this is the 15-minute chart, it's possible that, you know, it could get there. We have these kind of moves in one session, so a dip from up here to down here is very possible, you know. Looking back here, you can see that this fell all the way here. So you can definitely get these kind of moves. All right, let's see here. All right, let me try and clear up this chart a little bit. This is GBPUSD. All right, so I have two channels on this here. This is the upward channel, and this channel was started here at, well, I actually did that today just for the analysis. Let me take off these VWAPs right here. So this is the forward chart. We've been moving up, had a little dip, pulled back up here. Now we're just basically moving sideways on GBPUSD. The channel is kind of leaning towards the downside, but basically still sideways though, you know. Matter of fact, let's take this off here. It doesn't want to go. All right, I guess it ain't going nowhere. So yeah, GBPUSD is looking like it's this is accumulation here or distribution for either way, you know. So maybe it could pull back down to these levels here, right? Oh, now it's kind of moving slow, man. So it might break the channel, come back down to these levels. Like even this bigger channel right here, it's in the lower vicinity of this channel here. This is the mean, this green line, and we haven't even tested the middle section of that from this push up from the low, the channel low. We didn't get up to the middle, right? We just started moving sideways, so that could lean towards, that's why I drew this channel here where it's leaning towards more of a breakdown, you know. So if the US dollar does actually head up towards VWAP and stuff, you can see that really pulling back and breaking the channel here, breaking both channels actually, and trying to test some of these levels here. Right, and I actually took a trade today, went sold here, went short here, and covered here. I'm not really taking too much Forex trades because I don't really know what the US dollar wants to do. I can't really get a good gauge on it, you know what I'm saying? Now this is AUDUSD, and I actually have this comparison here with the NQ1. So this blue line right here is the NQ1. So as it pushed up, you see the AUDUSD is actually pushing up as well. We had some divergence here where it's AUDUSD is pushing up, but NQ1 dropped, and then it came back into confluence with AUDUSD, right? Had the push up here, kind of. I guess it moved higher compared to AUDUSD, and now they're both moving down in sync, you know. So this is upper VWAP right here, this red line. We're kind of on top of that right there. If the US dollar heads towards VWAP, annual anchored VWAP, we will get this breakdown here, and who knows where it'll end up, you know. And same thing will happen with the NQ1, you know, it'll continue moving down. And if not, this is going to be support, and we'll just head back into the channel because we just broke the channel here, and we'll head back into the upward channel and probably try and test some of these mid levels, probably head back up to the top here. Let's see some here. Do I have it on the 4 hour? No, I didn't really look at anything on the 4 hour chart. So yeah, let's see what the US dollar is doing. Right, so it's still staying above the channel. Let's see, do I have anything on the 15-minute? All right, so one thing I'm looking at as well is that on this trend monitor here, every time, like, let me show you some here. Every time we creep above the mean, right, we always get that push below. Creep above, push below, and tightens up, tightens up. Now we're above here, so the next thing for it to do, if it's continuing with its pattern, is to move below, just like it did over here, right? Creeped above here, move below, right? So I don't have any confidence that it's gonna stay above, you know. And one thing I'm looking at as well is this breakout here is looking like it's having, let me show you some here. This volume is basically dropping into the bullish move. The volume is dropping. It's kind of, it's slight, but on the US dollar, it's always volume in the US dollar, so you gotta look for the littlest kind of change in these little moves here, right? These little dips. You gotta really look at those volume bars to recognize, well, if there's strength or if there's buying, because this is buying right here, right? This move right here was higher volume, right? But then now, since then, it started to move down, but we still went higher, right? So that's something I gotta watch now. Now in the Asian session, volume is going up again. We have a little move up, but nothing really to talk about, because now you're getting this you're getting these, oh, hold on. You're starting to get these wick rejections here, right? Now, if it was testing these highs again, then I would have some more confidence in it, you know, but it's not really looking that bullish to me. But we'll see what happens overnight. Let's see, the money zone is in a overlapping higher value relationship, so we have a gap up open above value, but still within price. So it's moderate. It's bullish. It's bullish. You know, it's bullish. But I'm still not really that convinced. Let me see. The pivot levels is in a higher value relationship. We open above the pivot levels. These are the pivot levels here. The blue line is the pivot. This is top central pivot. This is bottom central pivot. That's the lower VWAP line, the anchored VWAP. And these were yesterday's pivots, right? And we actually opened yesterday at the pivot. So yeah, it's looking bullish so far. But this change, we already changed back, you see, into this darker blue here on the trend monitor. So I don't know. If it stayed light blue, I'd be more convinced. But we kind of starting to change right here, change back into probably getting back into this color right here just before bearish, which is the dark blue. Yeah, man, and that's just kind of some of my little thought processes on, you know, looking at the market and looking at the US dollar and how it affects the stock market, the futures market, and all that. Let's see. Let's see, what time is the statement on FOMC? Right, so it's 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Then we have the federal funds rate and the press conference at 2:30 p.m. So let's see if I could use this properly now. Right, kind of almost got it. I don't know where you're supposed to start with this stuff for it to work, cause it just, wait, hold on, I gotta practice this shit. Okay. All right, so yeah, that's the FOMC statement, 2 p.m. federal funds rate, and then 2:30 p.m. the press conference. So probably you even get these here at 10 a.m. Jolt's job openings, ISM manufacturing PMI, all these are red books. ADP non-farm employment change. So Wednesday's gonna be crazy, man. Wednesday's gonna be crazy. I don't know when you're gonna get some trading done. You even got some yellow books here: construction spending, ISM manufacturing, Ward's total vehicle sales. So I don't know, man. It's just in and out probably. You know, do a little scalping, or I guess if they start selling off, then hey, jump on the trend. Or if it just keeps, it just, you know, if it's trending in any direction, just try and catch the train on like a 15-minute ORB and just try and ride it until it stops, you know. So I think that's it, man. I call this my big six chart. This is Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, and Nvidia. So I kind of look at that sometimes while I'm trading to see, you know, what's the sentiment, you know. Right, see the US dollar here is setting up like it wants to pull back already. Creating that lower high from the close high right here. I think it's at least going to test this pivot level. Or maybe the value area high on the money zone. So the pivot level, this is a double pivot zone right here. So maybe we could get a pullback to this level right here. Oh wait, hold on. Gotta start using these epic pen stuff, man. Yeah, around this level right here, could probably try and seek some buyers around this level. Let me just check out some real quick. Let's see what the volume profile is saying. Right, so this is a high volume node here around the mid 12,707. So all this right here is like low volume into the pivot levels right here, which this is the pivot level, this is the volume area high around here. The pivot is 12,696. So you see there's low volume, so you could easily just fall back here to the high volume node around the bottom central pivot at 12,692, or even try and come back and test VPOC at 12,685. Let me see here. And this is my quantum currency strength indicator from Anna Cooling. So this kind of shows you, this is the 15-minute, this is the hourly chart, and this is the daily chart. So it shows the currency strengths within those time frames. So US dollar is overbought here, moving sideways, looking like it wants to pull back. And these are the ones here that's gonna challenge it, right? Because they're moving up strong right now. So that's gonna be GBP, JPY, and Euro. These are still weak, so don't really want to mess with those as any long. Like while that's pulling back, you want to get the one that's moving up. That's on the 15-minute. So on the hourly chart, still showing it strong. NZD, that's moving down. It's basically on the hourly chart. You probably want to check USD JPY because JPY is moving up. That's the only one that's looking like it's moving up really. GBP is moving up as well. Let's see here. Let's go back to GBP. This is the 4-hour. Let's see the 15-minute. Because I already did the short on this here, but within this range, we're getting support here and we're pushing back up from these levels here. So we're back at these levels. So you could probably, if the US dollar pulls back, you could probably catch something that, you know, like this from support. We had this push up. Let me make that bigger. Right, so we had that support right there, and kind of making a nice little kind of accumulation here. We're not selling off no more, holding support around this level. And I guess like a decent trade would be to try and get back to like this upper band here, this upper VWAP band around 1.23654. But I wouldn't take it because too much weak rejections here. Not really seeing enough bullishness for that. So I don't really like GBP for like longs and stuff like that. I rather do AUDUSD for stuff like that. Let me see. Yeah, but it's not looking much better either. I can still see that pulling back to the upper band right here before it gets back into the channel. So yeah, I wouldn't take any trades on that really. Even though this US dollar is looking like it wants to pull back, I don't really see a good setup really with those Forex pairs. Alright y'all, it's Malak Shalomo. This is just my little thought process on like the US dollar, the ES1, the NQ1, and some Forex pairs, GBPUSD and AUDUSD. Alright y'all, trade safe and stay blessed, and y'all stay according to my like how my friend on Twitter says, David Russo, he says to stay nimble. So you definitely gotta stay nimble in these markets these days, man. You know what I mean? Alright y'all, trade safe and stay blessed.